Tomorrow, Mexico announced that it will suspend shipping to the U.S. Now shop owners in Market Square are uncertain about their future.
And a man accused of causing the death of his baby not accepting a plea deal, when his trial is expected to start and when the baby's mother will be in court. Next.
Temperatures today getting to or above triple-digit heat, feeling even warmer. And then this weekend, for the holiday weekend, we're greeted with rain chances because of a weak Texas cool front moving through, having an impact for your holiday weekend. Adam Caskey is live from the KSAT Pigskin Classic. Your News at 5 starts right now.
And we are here at the 2025 KSAT Pigskin Classic. I'm Myra Arthur, coming to you live from Dub Ferris Stadium. This site will play host to this year's matchup. We have the Sotomayor Wildcats versus the Clark Cougars. A cat fight, if you will. It's going to be a hot one out here tonight. This is actually week 1 of the high school football season. There are 6 games on this Thursday schedule. We're going to bring you a lot of coverage of this game, which of course later when it kicks off, you can watch through KSAT and our digital platforms. And we're also going to talk about what is unique about these two schools that you won't see out on a football field. Lots of coverage leading up to this year's Pigskin Classic coming your way. But for now, we're going to send things back to Stephania Jimenez in the KSAT studio to get you caught up on headlines of the day. Stephania.
All right, Myra, thank you so much for that. And don't go too far because we're going to check back in with you momentarily. Okay, so new at 5 today. Starting tomorrow, anything that's coming into the U.S. from a foreign country that's worth $800 or less is going to get hit with a tariff. And that's part of the Trump administration's goal to make Americans less dependent on foreign goods. And this is going to immediately impact business owners who receive those shipments because they're the ones who are going to have to pay for those tariffs. And consumers fear that then those costs are going to get passed on to them. Now, in response, we know that several countries, including Mexico, have announced that they're going to suspend shipping to the U.S. Our Sarah Acosta spoke with small business owners over at Market Square, and they say that these financial blows just keep coming, and they're basically hanging on a thread in order to make it through this.
Will this affect your business?
Very much. All we have to do is pray to stay in business.
Hugo Flores owns Texas Hats in Market Square, where 100% of what he sells comes from Mexico. He's extremely worried about how he will keep his business open, with Mexico recently announcing a suspension of shipping to the U.S. on top of the tariff exemptions ending Friday.
And it's gonna be a total chaos bringing stuff back. And of course you have to raise your prices, and you're gonna have to do what you have to do. But the way it is right now, we're not even making money to buy goods. So, you know what I mean? It's just horrible situation.
Lucira Romero says this is just another hurdle the small businesses in Market Square are dealing with. First it was COVID, and then what she calls the never-ending construction around Market Square. And now this.
Of course, it's going to be more expensive every time. And with this new government, it's just not making it any better. We need help out here. Between construction and all these tariffs, it's just incredible to keep up with this business.
Flores says Texas Hats has been in business for almost 7 years. He says he doesn't know what the future will look like.
This is a Mexican market. So people come here to San Antonio looking for souvenirs from stuff from Mexico. So if that's the case, that they're going to raise the prices, and it's going to be harder for us to bring stuff from over there. I don't know what we're going to do. Honestly, I don't know what we're going to do.
Sarah Acosta, KSAT 12 News.
Today, my client has informed me that he no longer wants the agreement.
A San Antonio father accused of causing the death of his 8-month-old baby decided to forego a plea deal. San Antonio police arrested Alejandro Martinez back in May of 2023. Investigators say that he and his girlfriend, Ruby Mora, were having an argument when a gun went off and the bullets struck Mora and the baby. Both parents were charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Martinez's trial is supposed to start this fall. And as for Mora, she's expected to be in court next week. And both of them face life in prison if they're convicted. Right now, it's really tough for people to get around an area along the south side, and the reason is because of a nasty car wreck that crews are still cleaning up right now. San Antonio police say that a car hit a power line, and then that car flipped over. It happened around 2 o'clock this afternoon on Eads Avenue near Roosevelt Avenue. And you can see from the video there, you see the fence? That's because the upside down car landed in someone's front yard. We know that 2 VIA bus routes are also in that area, so those buses are now being rerouted. We also checked to see whether anybody lost power in the area because of the crash, and the answer is no. A neighborhood now coming to grips with what San Antonio police say was the accidental death of a 6-year-old boy. People have been leaving flowers and candles on Amidas Place near 38th Street. That's where little Axel Hernandez was hit by a pickup truck Tuesday evening. Police are saying the 6-year-old was riding on a plastic toy in a driveway, just doing what kids do, when he then rolled into the street right in front of a truck. Investigators, however, are not blaming the truck driver because he stayed at the scene to help that little boy. A man and a woman, an argument, and a gun. So, those 3 things not going to end well. And San Antonio police say that now a man is dead. Investigators say that shooting happened just before 1 o'clock this morning on Knightson on East Houston. Police say that the woman told them that she and the man were arguing when he lunged at her. She also told police that she thought he was going to assault her, and that's when she shot him. Investigators say that she then called 911. We're told that when officers arrived, they tried to save the man's life, but he died at the scene. We're also taking this opportunity to remind you that if you or someone you know is in an abusive relationship, please know there's help. You can start by scanning the QR code on your screen because that's going to direct you to an entire page of resources where you or anybody you know who's suffering from domestic violence can get help. Now we're going to talk Labor Day. We know that many of you are planning to have barbecues or go to the river. It's just what we do here. And that's why our Garrett Berger is in New Braunfels. And Garrett, we know that tubing businesses there are hoping for a big crowd this weekend, right?
Absolutely. Now, there's nothing I can think of that's better to do right now on my work day than sit here in the river. And tubing outfitters are really hoping that you think that way when it comes to considering your options for Labor Day weekend, because they've already been hit on the hardest. They've been hit the hardest on the biggest holiday weekend this summer. Now, back on the July 4th weekend, New Braunfels got hit with weather, and they had to close down the river starting on July 5th. That lasted a couple days into the next week, actually. One owner tells us business was slow coming back that month, too, likely in part because of the devastation that happened up in Kirk County, even though that was on a different river in a different county.
So you think there was a stigma of people didn't want to be enjoying themselves on a river?
Or they didn't want to share that they were enjoying themselves. But I think things have changed now. I think we're back in the saddle and we're ready for a big Labor Day weekend.
Now, tubing outfitters here stay open into October, but Labor Day, I think for most of us, is kind of that non-official end to the summer, so you can expect to see crowds pretty much start to dwindle after this Labor Day weekend. Now, the outfitter we talked to said that the river out here is safe, and we can look down and definitely see that it's clear. Whether or not you decide this is your cup of tea for the weekend, well, we'll find out come Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Live in the Canal River, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Oh, Garrett, you get kudos for making the best out of that assignment. Thank you so much. So the annual KSAT Pigskin Classic, it is sizzling. And we're not just talking about this year's matchup. Our Adam Caskey knows exactly what I'm talking about. I see the casquidon that he's holding right now. He's live over at Ferris Stadium. So, Adam, anybody going to the Northwest side this evening, what should they expect? A T-shirt, apparently.
Hot. Yes, that too. Many T-shirts taking flight this evening. We did officially hit 100 degrees today at the airport, so that is now our 17th triple-digit day so far this year. I just took the air temperature here at field level in the shade, and it was 102. Take a look at our weather watchers. We're all right around that triple-digit mark, give or take a degree or so. 98 Kerrville, 102 in Del Rio. We're 100 in Eagle Pass, 99 Santa Maria, New Braunfels 100, Bryan's Backyard in Bulverde 100. You get the idea. Kickoff around 96. Halftime, 91. And then at 11 p.m., we're down to 88 degrees. So yes, as the sun gets lower, temperatures will become a little more tolerable. Now, speaking of temperatures, I have an infrared thermometer with me.
Of course.
I always travel with, well, actually I have a couple. I keep one in the truck and one at home, of course.
Never leave home without it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And I've been taking experiments of the surface temperatures of various different surfaces. How hot this field is astonishing. I'm going to give you a comparison at 6.
Yeah, I was surprised when he told me the result of that. All right, Adam, we are talking, of course, about the Sotomayor Wildcats and the Clark Cougars tonight. They will be tackling it out on this very field. However, a group of students at Clark High School, they're actually doing their work in the garden. A group of students there has spent the last year creating a sustainability garden right in the middle of the campus. Sarah Acosta, who's kind of our in-house gardening expert, she went out to Clark to talk with students about this sacred space that they're also using for mental health and wellness.
I think it's pretty important because just looking away from all the stress and anxiety of school and your phones, just to sit down for a second and appreciate nature.
I think that it can definitely be therapeutic to kind of get your hands dirty and do something and be preoccupied, and just I feel like that's a really good thing that I actually didn't realize how helpful it was until I did it.
Working on their mental health while getting their hands dirty, leveling the ground, digging in the dirt, and learning the importance of planting native sustainable plants that help out our pollinators right in the middle of Clark High School's campus. It's why the Earth Club and other student organizations worked together last year to build the community garden after receiving a $5,000 Eco Scholar grant from the city. Gifted and talented coordinator Shelley Beck says the goal is to bring students back to nature.
Gardening is a great meditative and mindfulness activity, and with our students, as you said, so focused on screens, it's a great opportunity to physically be in the moment, to enjoy nature, to have your hands in the dirt, to be doing something and interacting with each other, with the earth, and not focused on what's happening on their phones and in their own head.
Student organizations will take turns maintaining the garden. An environmental science teacher, Annette Cobb, says her goal is to have an outdoor classroom at the garden in the future.
I call it a nature walk, and we'll come out and we'll make observations, and they try to identify the plants and stuff like that.
Sophia is proud that this is a project that students for years will benefit from.
I'm really excited to see how it expands and how I think this, especially knowing how hard we worked on it, that it'll last for a long time, and I hope that many students at Clark for generations to come get to enjoy.
Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
You know, there's always so much pride and hard work that goes into athletics, but so many schools now have so many different groups, like that gardening group as well, that are doing great things within their schools, something for everybody to be a part of. You know, Caskey told you he's got a little tease about how hot it is out here on this field. I can tell you the number's pretty high. We got to give props to everybody who is already out here putting things in order, getting the game ready to go before the players, the team actually take the field. We're going to bring you all that action coming up throughout the evening. For now, Stephania, I'm going to send it back to you.
All right, Myra, thank you for giving that shout out to all the people there, because it takes a lot of people in order to put the KSAT Pigskin Classic together. Thank you. So we're still staying outside right now because I got to talk to you about the traffic, the area of Loop 410 at Blanco Road. Woo, look at all those vehicles now on the road. I mean, you see that it's slow, but that's also because it's 511. No accidents in that area. It's just the traffic that you would normally get around this time of day. We want you to stay where you are now because this is an important subject. You know, school's back in session, so that means that school zones are obviously active. But a look at the most recent tally of violations. What we noticed was that a lot of drivers, they're just not slowing down. And we're going to take a look at school zones on the far north side with the most traffic violations. That's up next.
It's really busy in the morning times. It makes you want to just set your day later.
Esther Rodriguez has lived in the far north side off of Highway 281 for more than 2 decades, and as the area has grown, so have the amount of students going to class.
Do you see most of the traffic backed up mostly on Evans or a little bit further up towards Johnson High School?
Here on Evans, it's craziness trying to get through. And I've seen accidents already going through there because there's just not enough leeway time for the cars to be able to brake.
There are 3 schools within a short distance of each other off of Evans and Bulverde roads. We jumped into DriveCam to check out the school zones starting at Tejada Middle.
This one school zone had more than 200 safety violations, traffic violations, according to the records from SAPD. And a lot of folks say that's because of the traffic on Evans Road. It tends to get backed up, and a lot of folks tend to speed.
Now it's on to Johnson High School, which is around the corner on Bulverde Road.
This is a very busy area, of course. 188 traffic violations, according to SAPD's records from last school year. But for the most part, people that we spoke to around here say that traffic is under control. They see enough police presence and they feel pretty comfortable.
And tucked away off of Evans Road is Rowan Forest Elementary.
60 traffic violations, but on TPC Parkway, which is a little bit further up the road. But when you combine all 3 of these schools that we saw, that would be Tejada, Johnson, and Rowan right here, it is nearly 460 traffic violations in the last school year alone.
But for the most part, people that live here say the extra police presence is good to keep kids and drivers safe.
I mean, it's always pretty bad, especially now that school's back in session, but you just kind of have to time when you go out and run your errands.
Definitely more of a police presence here?
I think it's good. I mean, I'm probably guilty of going a little too fast sometimes, so it's good to keep me slowing down.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
All right, let's take a live look outside. The next week is all about football and Labor Day weekend. Our Adam Caskey joins us now from Ferris Stadium, where our KSAT Pigskin Classic will be. Adam, my friend, we just need to get through this scorching heat, but we definitely feel for the kiddos who are really out in the thick of it.
Yes, it is very hot out right now, and you can factor in the humidity and it feels like it's about 102, 103, and that doesn't really take into account the impact of the sun beating down on you. Of course, game time, the sun's going to be a lot lower, and then it eventually sets, and we're going to be getting a lot of t-shirts airborne.
We may get a little breeze from this thing.
We're definitely getting a little breeze. Hey, now, I was mentioning temperatures before.
Yes.
Take a look at how hot it is on this artificial turf. And look at that, we're up over 130 degrees. At times it'll get up to about 138 is what I've measured. Coming up at 6, I'll give you a little comparison about how that compares to other surfaces around here, from the metal bleachers to the blacktop to the white concrete. But let's get right to the weather right now. Take a look at the area-wide temperatures, and we are at 100 officially at the airport in San Antonio right now. Del Rio 100, New Braunfels triple digits, Bernie 5 degrees less. I'm not going to say cooler. I'm going to say 5 degrees less at 95. So temperatures falling down through the 90s this evening, and after sunset, we'll make it down into the 80s. Now, tomorrow's going to be just like today, right around to just above 100 in and around San Antonio, Bexar County. Converse 101. Officially at the airport about 100. On the south side, 101. We have more games tomorrow, and it's going to be hot. A little cool front's going to drop in this weekend. More than anything, it's going to increase our rain chances, and that's especially late Sunday and then lingering into Monday on Labor Day. This is a slow-moving front, not going to pack a big punch when it comes to temperature changes or anything like that, but we do think it's going to help us with our rain chances, again, especially late Sunday and lingering into Monday. Now, most of the rain is going to be off to our north in other parts of Texas, but some neighborhoods could see a ½ inch or more from some of those showers. So here's the extended forecast. Tomorrow, a carbon copy of today. 100, upper 70s in the morning, 100 in the afternoon, full sunshine all day. Saturday, a rogue shower possible. I mean, we're talking 20% chance, that's it. And then we get into Sunday during the day, a 30% chance, but Sunday night on into, I'd say at least the first half of Monday, Labor Day, we're talking about half coverage across our area. That's what that 50% stands for. And then next week on Tuesday, you know, sunny, near 100. We just do this dance all over again.
It's going to be hot.
Right? Shocking.
How new and different for us.
We need to launch ice out of this or something, you know?
If only we could. But hey, we
can launch anything. Trust me, I do that at home. Anything. It's awesome.
That actually was silly of me.
Hot dogs. cans of soda down the street and they just explode on the road. It's awesome.
To be your neighbor.
God bless them.
All right, we have got a whole team out here because, of course, we are bringing you the action that will take place on this field on KSAT as well. We've got our Larry Ramirez, who is standing by. He's going to be bringing you this game between Sotomayor and Clark tonight. Larry, we got a lot of high school football to talk about this evening.
We sure do. So we have 6 games on our schedule tonight, and this is one of them. It's 27-6A versus 28-6A, Clark, Sotomayor, and the KSAT Pigskin Classic. We're going to talk more about that. Plus, the Dallas Cowboys made a trade. The Lion is moving on. Coming up. The Cougars have their eyes set on the Wildcats and big board sports. Good evening, everybody, and welcome live to Ferris Stadium, where tonight Clark and Sotomayor will battle it out in the annual KSAT Pigskin Classic. The high school football regular season is finally here, and you know that these two teams are just ready to go. Now, ever since we announced that Clark and Sotomayor would face off in the 4th edition of the KSAT Pigskin Classic, the excitement has grown every single day. The winner gets a dub on TV, and you know that's a fantastic feeling. This game, we'll see 2 great QBs in Clark's Isaiah Santillan and Soto's Chauncey Moon.
You know, they're a great team, and I'm excited to go challenge ourselves for the first game. They're a playoff team like last year, so us being able to play that good of a team straight out the gate will for sure help us get ready for the rest of the season.
It feels good. I feel like it's good pressure. I feel like we needed this as a team so we can grow and we can get used to things like this. So I'm pretty excited to play in the Pigskin Classic.
And we're both excited to have those QBs and both teams in the KSAT Pigskin Classic. The game kicks tonight at 7 live on KSAT 12, KSAT Plus, and KSAT.com. Joining me now, Mary Rominger. And Mary, your thoughts on this matchup tonight between Clark and Sotomayor?
I'm excited for this game, Larry. Both playoff teams last year.
Yep.
And Sotomayor did get the best of Clark in their season opener last year, but I do think Clark will keep this game close this year. It should be exciting, but in the end, I see Sotomayor prevailing just because of their ability to run and pass the ball so fluidly.
Okay, and I will be calling this game later tonight with Hector Ledesma. Mary, big report in the NFL today that the Cowboys traded star defender Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Your thoughts?
History did not repeat itself. Micah Parsons is gone. The Green Bay Packers just got a whole lot better, but I do think the Cowboys did get a solid return, a really good D tackle in Kenny Clark, 2 first-round picks, and they don't have to pay Micah Parsons $47 million a year, so that's big.
Yeah, and the Cowboys are holding a press conference tonight at 6:30. We assume that's what this is about. All right, let's send it back over to Myra and Adam Caskey.
All right, Larry, Mary, thank you. I am with Adam, who is always the resourceful one of this group, and he has found perhaps the best spot on the field for this evening. We're going to take full advantage of this before the teams come out and, you know, need it for all the hard work they're going to do out here. All right, we are going to take a quick break. They work? Okay, my turn next. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back after this.
My friends, we have such a busy day. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on ABC Primetime. Coming up at 6:30 is the KSAT Game Day pregame show. Then at 7 o'clock, check out all the action over at Dub Ferris Stadium as the 4th annual KSAT Pigskin Classic helps to kick off the new high school football season. And then things are going to be wrapping up at 10, so we invite you to join us here for the Night Beat. For now, thank you for watching the News at 5. World News is next. We'll